is TTP, and today I'm gonna talk about health. And you can't do anything without your health. That's why I cook my own food and I support the local farmer people who do organics, not the sticker or the scan. Because if you scan that stuff at the store, you realize what it is. I think the minute that took off and they were like, "Oh, people are gonna," then they jumped in. Specifically, Bill Gates invested in one of those vegan type companies or something, one of those other companies. I'm gonna find out right now. Did Bill Gates invest in vegan or non-meat products? Yes. Impossible Foods. Notable investments in backing Impossible Foods. So there was a media coverage reports that Gates invested and supported Impossible Foods in various points. And so when they did that and they got on that, I was like, oh, absolutely not. Because it could kind of trick you. You say, oh, well, that's better than the garbage they're feeding us. But that's not true. Because if you grow your own food, you know what it looks like. I had the privilege, my dad had a garden from when I was little. So I had to pick the weeds, learn about that. So I ate out of the garden probably since I was a child. And I stopped doing it once I got on my own, moved to the cities and places where I live where I couldn't actually grow stuff. And that's by design, by the way. Come get our convenience stuff with the pretty little writing in the box where you look at it, you go, oh, that looks nice. Take a picture. Take a picture. But all jokes aside, it's the reason why I do those videos. It's the reason why I do this. And I had a job where I had the privilege. I was picking up Biohazard. Now you say Biohazard, I'll say in all the hospitals, all the dialysis, any doctor's office, uh, anything like that, body parts. I met a lot of interesting people. Actually, I got a partner, Everett. He looks like Sammy Davis Jr. Bull crap, you're not. Just like him. And he works at a funeral home. He does body, he does embalming and fusing bodies. And I did that stuff for about a year. I say this to say when I went into these places, I'm going to tell you how it was structured. You had, and I'll go by uh, ethnic groups. So you had a lot of Asians and stuff who were working. Um, and then you had a lot of the patients who were African American or black, and most of them were fairly young. And then that's what was upsetting me because I couldn't understand the, you know, it just didn't seem you're such young people. And so behavior and the lifestyle I started to see through this job. And on many different levels, I picked up, they have industrial parks where they have certain scientific stations where you go pick. And this stuff comes tagged, and you got to realize I can't leave this stuff. I have to actually take this stuff off, drop it off with the paperwork, wop, 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 make sure everything is in there. They take it, burn it, do whatever they're going to do, but I can't never leave it on the truck. And that was eye opening for me, that job, because it just opened my eyes to the physical elements and how easily you can break down. And so that scared me to death. I was like, oh. And I had stopped a lot of the stuff that I was doing anyway. So I was. many, many years on the right track before I did this job and got into this stuff. And I'm saying that to say that there is a lot of those places, more than you know. Even people's house I went, they had they had their office, doctor set up. I mean, it's so much of that stuff around in plain sight. Like you can't even fathom it because it's not going to be advertised and it's not going to be something that's in your face. So I don't want to drag this on, get all long winded on this, but this is connected to the health thing. Like I told you, when I was 21, 22, I stopped cooking with salt, especially that Morton stuff, especially you just shake it on there or whatever. I do use Himalayan salt, other salt, to flavor my food, stuff like that. I'm talking about in my 20s. I'm 55 now. And through this job, I was able to see a lot of things: what to do and what not to do. And I had people talk to me and even tell me, hey, a lot of that stuff was from the noodle pack, the MSG pack, because they don't know that noodles, you have to add water to it. If you're going to use that MSG pack, you have to. It's a measurable thing. They do this all over the world in China. Like it's $1 billion business over there with those noodles like that. You got to add water, vegetables. It's a soup. Somehow they turned it into this kind of anyway. And this stuff was getting people's chest cracked open, literally. And they know this because people are not, they don't understand, they don't even read the fact, okay, how much water you got to put, how much you got to do, whatever. So if you're doing that, you're drinking soda, you're eating in Hostess, you're doing taffy, do you ever drink water? And so these are all the things that I've seen just culturally going through, and that's how it was. And it opened my eyes to what to do and what not to do. Really, that's the breakdown. But I just wanted to share that with you. Most of my experience come from work. Matter of fact, all of them. There's other stuff, but these experiences stayed with me. And oh, I forgot to tell you. So I'm coming back. I'm on my last stop in this industrial park. I pick up. It has to be over 20 or 25 containers, but they're little. Tide, red, plastic, or yellow, whatever the parts are in there. That's how they're in there. So I pick this stuff up, and I go to get in my truck. It won't start. I'm already at 11. By the time I get back, it's going to be 12 hours. It won't start. So I called my boss. He said, "What? Well, I'll have what's his name come out there. Don't worry." I sat there 2 hours later. So now we're in 14 hours. By the time I got back, it was 18 hours. I was happy because I was like, yeah, that's going to be overtime. That's going to be fat. That is nice, nice check. And due to certain laws and certain things, or they finessed me, they gave me the regular overtime, which the max that they could do, and they put regular hours on the other day, and I couldn't go into work the next day until 10 or 11 o'clock because we start in the morning. Like with a commercial light, they have all this stuff structured out. But I had to stay with that stuff. That's how important that stuff is, and I couldn't leave it. And so that's Life Skills TTP, just giving you a little insight on what I've seen and what I do, why I share the health stuff, and how you can be more aware about certain things because stuff ain't what it is. So Life Skills TTP, I appreciate you hanging out with me. Until next time.